Today's workshop on driving Kerala's e-truck ecosystem with the PM e-drive scheme. Kerala has been a national leader in electric mobility, and today's discussion marks an important step towards extending that leadership to the freight sector, an area that is both critical and challenging for India's clean energy transition. We are delighted to have with us senior leaders from the government of Kerala, public sector institutions, and experts who are shaping this transition. We will begin with the inaugural plenary, and I request everyone to kindly remain seated as we proceed in the scheduled order. To set the context for today's workshop, it is my pleasure to invite Ms. Kritika PR, EV lead at the International Council on Clean Transportation, to deliver the welcome address. Kritika has been closely involved in research and policy engagement on electric freight and charging infrastructure in India, including ICCT's ongoing collaboration with Kerala institutions. Kritika, over to you.
Thank you, Simran. Very good morning to everyone. On behalf of the International Council on Clean Transportation, it's a pleasure to warmly welcome all of you to today's workshop on driving Kerala's e-truck ecosystem with PM e-drive scheme. So at the outset, I would like to extend my sincere thanks and a warm welcome to the distinguished dignitaries on the dais and Shri Puneet Kumarji, who has joined us virtually. So I would like to extend thanks to Shri Minaj Alam sir, CMD, Kerala State Electricity Board, Shri Puneet Kumar sir, Additional Chief Secretary, Power Department, Shri Nagaraju Chakilam sir, Transport Commissioner, Dr. P.S. Pramod Shankar, CMD, KSRTC, Dr. Hari Kumar from the Energy Management Center, Kerala, Shri Sajeev Ji, Director, REES and SORA, KSEBL, all the senior officials, industry experts, and partners who are present with us today, thank you so much for being here. We are also looking forward to the participation of the Honorable Minister of Electricity, who is expected to join us later in the day, and we would also like to extend our warm welcome to him. ICCT is deeply grateful to the Government of Kerala and the Kerala State Electricity Board for providing us with this opportunity to partner on such an important initiative. So KSEBL's role, it extends beyond power supply, and it is emerging as this critical institution which is enabling the electric mobility transition in Kerala. We truly value the leadership and the vision which is demonstrated by the board as well as the state government. So Kerala has already set a strong example in driving the electric mobility transition, with more than 3 lakh EV registrations cumulatively till date, and the EV penetration which has already hit more than 12% in the state. The state has demonstrated what actually clear policy and coordinated action can deliver on the ground. So building on this momentum which has been created by the state's EV policy 2019, I think Kerala is very well positioned to replicate the success in freight transport. Now this is very crucial because trucks, although they constitute they are small in number, but they have an outsized impact. As per our research, ICCT's research, medium and heavy duty vehicles constitute only 3% of the total vehicular stock, but they contribute over 44% of emissions. So they're a very critical priority area for decarbonization. And not just that, not only for climate impacts, but also to improve the efficiency and competitiveness of logistics. So Kerala's context actually makes this transition very unique, and Kerala is very uniquely positioned. There is growing economic activity in the state. The state has 2 major international ports, and there is also a rise in the economic activity. There are logistic hubs, both existing and upcoming, and a lot of food processing, agro-food processing activity happening in the state. And there is going to be a definite increase in the freight demand, especially on the key corridors like NH66 and NH544. So these are precisely the use cases where electric trucks actually make early sense. So the timing of today's workshop is particularly significant. We have the PM e-drive scheme. There is a national framework in place with a dedicated budgetary outlay of 500 crores for trucks and another 2,000 crores earmarked for charging infrastructure development. But to leverage this at the state level, it will require, coordinated action from multiple people in the ecosystem. So it will require coordinated action from government departments, with the DISCOM, logistic players, CPOs, financiers. And all of these stakeholders are present in this room today. So once again, and I am very looking forward to this discussion, I would like to thank the government of Kerala and all the participants for the leadership and engagement. I look forward to a very productive and workshop and hope for meaningful outcomes from this workshop. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Kritika. It is now my honor to invite Shri Minaj Alam IAS, Chairman and Managing Director of the Kerala State Electricity Board Limited, to deliver the opening address. As Kerala's power utility, KSEBL plays a central role in enabling the energy transition, particularly as high-capacity charging stations become essential for electric trucks. Sir, may I invite you to address the gathering.
Respected Shri Puneet Kumar Sir, Additional Chief Secretary, Power Department, Government of Kerala. Shri Nagaraju Chakilam, Transport Commissioner, Motor Vehicle Department, Government of Kerala. Dr. Pramod Shankar, IUFS CMD KSRTC. Dr. Hari Kumar, Director EMC Kerala. Shri Sajeev, Director Generation KSEBL. Ms. Kritika PR, Program Lead ICCT. All distinguished dignitaries, media persons. Good morning to everyone. I am pleased to welcome you all to this workshop on driving Kerala electric truck ecosystem under the PM e-Drive scheme. The range of stakeholders present today are from government, industry, to researchers, logistic operators and charge point operators. It highlights that freight electrification is a shared responsibility. KSEBL entered this phase with an advantage of experience. When EV adoption in Kerala was still at an early stage, KSEBL established a statewide network of 63 fast charging stations, among the earliest public networks in the country. That earliest step created infrastructure, but more importantly, it created confidence. Today's vibrant private charging ecosystem in Kerala exists partly because the public utility moved early and provided assurance. With PM e-Drive, we are extending that same leadership to the freight segment. Freight electrification is fundamentally different. The loads are higher, the infrastructure is more capital intensive, and reliability is critical. But the principle remains the same: build early, build well, and create confidence in the system. As the nodal agency for PM e-Drive in Kerala, KSEBL's responsibility is clear. That is to translate a national program into a charging ecosystem that is reliable, scalable, and user-friendly for medium and heavy-duty electric trucks. Electric trucks already deliver meaningful emissions reduction and operating cost savings. As Kerala's renewable energy share increases, these benefits will only grow. This makes freight electrification central to both our decarbonization goals and our energy planning. Under PM e-Drive, we have moved quickly to aggregate land across the state. Locations near highways, ports, logistic clusters, and transport hubs have already been identified. Kerala is therefore well positioned to move rapidly from planning to implementation. National studies, including those by ICCT, show that fast and ultra-fast chargers will form the backbone of India's future truck charging network. This places utilities at the center of both grid readiness and infrastructure scalability. KSEBL has already begun planning for this role. User experience remains a key priority. Through our smart charging guidelines, we are moving towards appless and wallet-less charging using universal payment system, along with improved charger discoverability. For freight operators, especially MSME truckers, simplicity and predictability are essential. High-capacity charging does introduce new grid challenges. KSEBL is integrating these loads into medium and long-term system planning through feeder strengthening, substation augmentation, and proper load management. Our role also includes enabling private participation. A dedicated digital portal has been created for private land aggregation under PM e-Drive. To all charge point operators and investors present here today, Kerala welcomes your investment. KSEBL will provide grid support, technical facilitation, and clarity in processes to build confidence and scale deployment. Kerala is also reimagining public charging stations through our refresh and recharge model, creating user-friendly, commercially viable hubs along highways and freight corridors. With the support of our EV accelerator cell, our initiatives such as India's first large-scale vehicle-to-grid pilot with IIT Bombay, Kerala is preparing not just for today's needs, but for the future of grid-integrated mobility. PM e-Drive gives us a national platform. Kerala has the opportunity to demonstrate how clean freight can be enabled through disciplined planning, strong institutions, and partnerships. Today's workshop brings together the people who will make this transition real. I look forward to a productive and forward-looking discussion. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir, for those insightful remarks. We now have the privilege of hearing the inaugural address from Shri Puneet Kumar IAS, Additional Chief Secretary, Power Department, Government of Kerala. His leadership will be critical in aligning power sector planning, grid readiness, and state policy to support emerging requirements such as electric freight. Sir, we request you to kindly deliver the inaugural address.
Very good morning to all of you on the dais, beginning with the Honorable Minister for Energy for Government of Kerala, who will be joining for the web portal launch, I am told, after a few hours or so. And my colleague and CMD KSEB, Mr. Minhaz Alam, Madam Kritika, PR, who is program lead from the ICCT, my other colleagues, Nagaraj Chakkilam, Transport Commissioner, Dr. P.S. Pramod Shankar, CMD KSRTC, Dr. Hari Kumar, Director Energy Management Center, Shri Sajeev Ji, Director Generation E&C, Rees, and Saura from KSEBL. It is indeed a great opportunity to address such a kind of august gathering here. I would have loved to be there physically, but due to reasons beyond me, I could not join that physically. However, it gives me great pleasure to be part of this important workshop on driving Kerala's e-truck ecosystem with the PM e-drive scheme, and I am sure that today's deliberations mark a significant transition in Kerala's electric mobility journey from early stage adoption to a more strategic, systemic, and economically transformative focus on freight and logistics electrification. Kerala, as all of us know, today stands amongst the leading states in electric mobility adoption in India, and I'm very proud to inform this August gathering that only yesterday I received an award organized by Motoring India magazine, which was delivered by Honorable Union Minister Shri Nitin Gadkari ji, and Kerala received the gold award for four-wheeler EV adoption across the country, and it was a great feeling that the efforts collectively made by all of us have been recognized and evaluated by a very respectable jury, and we got this recognition. Nonetheless, we can't be complacent. We have more than 3.1 lakh electric vehicles on our roads, and EVs now account for approximately 13% of the new vehicle registrations as per the Vahan portal. Nearly 5% of all the new EVs sold in the country and about 12% of the India's electric four-wheelers are registered in Kerala. These figures reflect not only strong policy intent but also the public confidence in the government's policies and the market readiness to adopt these progressive new changes. However, if we are really serious about our commitment for the deep decarbonization and long-term sustainability, merely passenger cars electrification alone may not be sufficient. The next critical frontier is freight and logistics. And as all of us know that a very small percentage of trucks and such kind of containers, which are 12% in numbers in terms of the vehicles plying on the national highways, they carry 80% of the total load for the logistics and freight transportation. Medium and heavy duty trucks constitute a relatively small share of vehicles on the road. Yet, they account for a disproportionately large share of the fuel consumption and leading to greenhouse gas emissions noise, and urban air population, which is a cause of major concern, especially in the northern part of India. They are a major source of nitrogen oxides and particulate matter, which significantly contribute to serious health hazards, damaging smogs in many important cities. Multiple life cycle studies have indicated that battery electrical trucks can reduce total greenhouse gas emissions by approximately 60 to 70% under the current power mixes and by nearly 80 to 90% when powered predominantly by the renewable energy. This firmly establishes electrical trucks as the cornerstone technology for decarbonizing freight transport. For Kerala, this transition has immediate and local relevance. Our major freight corridors, particularly on the National Highway 66 and key state highways, pass through densely populated towns and environmentally sensitive regions. The benefits of the freight electrification will therefore be visible in the near term, especially in improved air quality and public health outcomes. Friends, at the national level, the scale of transformation required is substantial. India is expected to require approximately 9 gigawatts of installed high capacity charging infrastructure for electric trucks by 2030, rising to over 170 gigawatt by 2050. And these figures make it clear that the freight electrification is not just peripheral, it is foundational to the India's net zero transport pathways. At this juncture, I would like to acknowledge the very important role being played by International Council on Clean Transportation ICCT, which is a globally respected research organization working with the governments worldwide on low carbon transport transitions. ICCT has been closely collaborating with the Kerala State Electricity Board Limited and the EV Accelerator Cell constituted therein to support evidence based planning for electric freight in Kerala. This includes identifying priority e truck use cases, corridor level charging requirements, grid integration strategies, and early pilot designs. This collaboration ensures that Kerala's approach is data driven, internationally benchmarked, and aligned with the global best practices while remaining firmly grounded in local operational realities. I would urge the champions of industries, the fleet operators, the logistics players, and other non governmental organizations to move decisively towards electrification of their vehicle fleets. From the government and utility side, we are fully committed to ensure that charging infrastructure is planned well ahead of the demand with adequate capacity, with ease of charging, which is a new concept. Ease of charging has to be the key and cornerstone for all the users. Otherwise, it may cause redundancy and it will raise questions about the reliability also. Our objective is to eliminate range anxiety even for high capacity trucks operating on long haul and high duty cycles. Kerala's intent is very clear as industry transitions to electric mobility. The power sector will ensure that the supporting infrastructure is ready, resilient, and future proof. Kerala recognized the importance of this transition at a very early stage. Even before the formal designation of the nodal responsibilities, the state had initiated systemic identification of suitable land parcels, priority freight corridors, and already made grid readiness assessments. Once the Kerala State Electricity Board was designated as a state nodal agencies for EV charging infrastructure and the implementation of the PM e-drive scheme, This work was institutionalized and significantly accelerated. This preparedness has been appreciated by the nodal ministry in the Government of India, which is Ministry of Heavy Industries. In two phases, Kerala has already submitted 341 locations under Category A and Category B, seeking central subsidy support amounting to almost over 270 crores. These include 195 Kerala State Electricity Board Limited owned sites and 146 locations from other government departments and public sector institutions, including ISRO's Vikram Sarabhai Space Center, BSNL, KSRTC, KTDC, the Kerala Irrigation Infrastructure Development Corporation, and several other PSUs under the Industries Department of the State Government of Kerala, such as Keltron, Travancore Titanium Products, and Malabar Cements. This high level interdepartmental coordination reflects Kerala's institutional preparedness and administrative maturity to operationalize a national scale freight electrification program. Friends, a conscious and strategic decision was taken while preparing these proposals. Although Kerala already has a widespread network of 30 kilowatt and 60 kilowatt chargers deployed by both KSEBL as well as the private operators, PM e-drive submissions focus exclusively on high capacity configurations of 120 kilowatt and 240 kilowatt. This reflects forward looking planning for the long haul freight operations, higher vehicle utilization, and next generation truck platforms rather than incremental expansion based solely on the current number of fleets. Following revisions to subsidy ceilings at the national level, KSEBL has acted swiftly to update the proposals to ensure full compliance and optimal utilization of admissible incentives, thereby keeping Kerala well positioned to receive maximum support under the prestigious scheme PME Drive. At the same time, it is very evident that the government land alone cannot deliver the scale and the diversity which is required for a robust charging ecosystem. To the charge point operators, CPOs, and private investors present here today, I would like to state that this unequivocally that Kerala welcomes private investments in the high capacity EV charging infrastructure and our policy framework is in place. KSEBL, as the nodal agency, will actively support charge point operators through grid connectivity, technical approvals, and facilitation of the PME drive subsidies. Our objective is to provide clarity, predictability, and investors' confidence, ensuring that infrastructure deployment keeps pace with the vehicle adoption. To enable this, KSEBL has developed a dedicated digital portal for aggregation of the private land proposals under Category C, offering a structured, transparent, and single window interface for participation under the PM e-Drive scheme. Kerala is also redefining the concept of the public charging station. Through the refresh and recharge model, charging hubs are envisioned as integrated service destinations offering amenities such as clean restrooms, sitting areas, cafes, universal accessibility features, Wi Fi connectivity, and safe parking bays. This approach enhances user experience and comfort level while improving the commercial viability of charging infrastructure, particularly along highways and freight corridors. Institutionally, KSEBL's EV Accelerator Cell, which has been established with the approval of the Bureau of Energy Efficiency, functions as the technical nerve center for electric mobility in Kerala. The cell supports infrastructure planning, demand forecasting, and policy formulation, and also serves as a single point of interface between the government and industry stakeholders. As a recognition at the national level during these National Energy Conservation Awards, which were delivered only on the last Sunday by Honorable President of India, Kerala State received another first prize and the award from uh, India's Honorable President. So this is a matter of, again, great pride, and it underlines the recognition of the Kerala's efforts for improving the energy efficiency. The cell has identified key systemic challenges including fragmented discoverability, lack of standardized payment mechanisms, absence of basic amenities, and limited real-time data for the distribution planning. To address these issues, Kerala has developed a smart public EV charging guidelines that promote app-less and wallet-free payment options, standardized user interfaces, and mandatory data sharing with discoms, ensuring both consumer convenience and grid intelligence. Kerala is also positioned itself at the forefront of the innovation through its vehicle to grid initiative in collaboration with IIT Mumbai. This is among the first real world distribution grid integrated V2G pilots in India. It will assess how EVs, particularly high capacity vehicles and fleets, can support peak load management, renewable energy balancing, grid resilience, and ancillary services, while also creating new revenue opportunities for fleet operators. This is going to give yet another dimension to the public private partnership in improving the energy efficiency and also increasing the components of the renewable energy in the overall energy mix for the state of Kerala. Importantly, Kerala's progressive regulatory framework, including recent provisions by the Kerala State Electricity Regulatory Commission that explicitly recognize V2G, provides a strong foundation for scaling such innovations responsibly. From the perspective of the power department, freight electrification introduces large concentrated electrical loads at specific logistic hubs and highway nodes. We are proactively strengthening feeders, augmenting substations, and integrating high power charging demand into long term system planning. Therefore, in parallel, we are working towards transparent, predictable, and operationally viable tariff frameworks, without which large scale adoption will just not be sustainable. It is equally important to recognize that Kerala's freight sector is dominated by small and medium operators as of now, and not only organized fleets. Public fast charging hubs, fair pricing, uniform services standards, robust consumer protection mechanisms, and lastly, I would like to re emphasize ease of charging with comfort are therefore very essential to ensure that benefits of the PME drive scheme are inclusive and widely accessible. Freight electrification cannot succeed in silos. It requires sustained coordination across the power department, KSEBL, the transport department, local self government institutions, logistic agencies, industry partners, and last but not the least, charge point operators. The government's role is to convene, align, and de risk the transition, and the responsibility is actively being exercised. Kerala is uniquely positioned to demonstrate a model e truck corridor under the PME drive scheme supported by the high capacity charging infrastructure, regulatory foresight, renewable energy integration, and a technically capable public utility. Once implemented, this ecosystem will benefit freight transport, public mobility, and the broader logistics economy. As Kerala advances towards its long term commitments of achieving 100% renewable energy by 2040, which is ahead of 7 years from the national target, and net zero emissions by 2050, again ahead by 20 years from the national target of 2070, electrifying freight and integrating mobility with the power grid is not just a choice, it is an imperative, it is a necessity. The ecosystem we build today will shape our environmental quality, economic competitiveness, and infrastructure resilience for the decades to come. Today's workshop brings together the stakeholders who will turn this vision into reality, and I certainly convey my best wishes and encourage an open dialogue, practical collaboration, and a strong focus on implementation, which gives us more insights to improve our policy framework and the implementing machinery. I would like to state that clearly that under the great leadership of our honorable chief minister and his vision, Kerala is fully ready, and as per the valued guidance and the advice given by our honorable minister for power, the grid is now getting ready for the higher level of stable and balanced services, meeting all the challenges that are coming with more and more RE coming into the system. The policy framework is completely aligned, and we are very much open to have a dialogue, and therefore we invite industry to partner with us in building a clean, efficient, and future ready freight ecosystem. I thank all the participants and the organizers, and I wish everyone a very, very productive and meaningful deliberations in today's workshop. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Transport policy and regulation are central to unlocking the demand for electric trucks. To share perspectives from the Transport Administration, I now invite Sri Nagaraju Chakilam, IPS, Transport Commissioner, Motor Vehicle Department, Government of Kerala, to deliver a special address. Sir, the floor is yours.
Respected Puneet Kumar sir, respected Minaj Alam sir, dear Dr. P.S. Pramod Shankar, Dr. Hari Kumar, Director Energy Management, Sri Sajeev G, and Srimati Kritika PR, ICCT. Ladies and gentlemen, at the outset, I'd like to appreciate the efforts taken by KSEBL and ICCT to forge such a kind of platform for all the stakeholders to share their views. I think we are standing at a cusp of this EV revolution in Kerala. As Puneet Kumar sir had pointed out, we already proved our leadership in the country. We got a gold award from the Government of India for EV adoption. However, I feel that the tilt is more towards the passenger vehicles, two-wheeler, three-wheeler, and four-wheelers passenger vehicles. The purpose of this meeting is to how to bring that adoption towards commercial vehicles also, especially in the light of this great program called PM E-Drive. Kerala has always been a pioneer in adoption of new programs. As Puneet Kumar sir was rightly pointing out, his speech was very, very comprehensive. Though I arrived late, sir, I apologize. His speech was very comprehensive about the ecosystem in Kerala. Sir was pointing out at V2G. We are looking at transport sector not just as a consumer of energy, but also looking as a provider of energy. We are looking at transport sector as a storage, as a huge potential. We have a huge potential in storing the energy. Mobile energy units. And you all know V2G technology, we already have regulations in place. We are one of the few states in the country. We have a huge road network. We have already targeted which national highways, which state highways we have to have this charging infrastructure. We are going to have container roads. Another advantage of Kerala is we are a small state. Every 50 kilometers you can cross the district, and every 200 kilometers you have an international airport. And you have seaports very close by. What more do you want? And very good national highways connecting the hinterland also. This is an ideal ground to have a very robust infrastructure for charging and commercial vehicles. Now that the seaports are in place, at least 2 seaports which can handle millions of tons of container traffic, we are badly in need of commercial EV vehicles here. You all know Kerala is very, very sensitive. It's a very fragile ecosystem, and we are very careful about sustainability also. Our air quality index, now that is the topic of discussion, is the best in the country. And it is not just by chance. It is because of proper administrative and policy guide steps taken by the government. Though we are endowed with very good nature here, we also have policies in place to preserve this kind of air quality. From the transport department side, I would like to point out that we all know 90% of the energy is consumed in other industries. About 18 to 20% of energy consumption is in the transport sector. Am I right, madam? 18 to 20%? As of 14%? That was 21 data? Yes. Okay. So I was told it's about 18% now. And it's been growing. And within this consumption, 90% is fossil fuels. So we are very, very nominal in using electricity. When we are only talking about biofuels and other such renewable sources, when we are talking about renewable energy sources for transport sector, we are yet to reach certain speakable figures for EV adoption when we look at the sector as a whole. But I would like to point out the huge potential Kerala has. As I already said, we are a huge city. Kerala is a huge city. We are not a state. We are a huge city, fully urbanized, with good road network, and most of the hamlets are connected by motorable roads. We are crisscrossed by NHS and SHS. And we have pockets of public sector units on all major roads. These land parcels are readily available for installing charging infrastructure. And we have very good transmission lines. What more do we need? In fact, Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, most of you must be knowing, also has this scheme for wayside amenities. We are going to propose that Kerala should have at least one wayside amenity for every 100 kilometers. I was told by Minaj sir that we are targeting at 300 charging points, charging places with multiple charging points. If we have a wayside amenity every 100 kilometers on all major highways, that would be a composite place where trucks can park like a lay-by with full facilities for refreshment, rest, charge the driver, charge the vehicle. He can recharge himself. He's been driving for a long time. And he should be given proper food, proper rest, toilet facilities, and even we are thinking of road safety related infrastructure, such as simulator training for the road ahead. We know the road, so he can select the road he is going, and we will have a live video of that particular road, and he will be informed of all the black spots en route. Such is the level of thinking we are going. Wayside amenities with full facilities for the driver and the trucks. So from the transport department, we would like to collaborate, sir, with KSEBL and with the support of ICCT and your expert guidance, madam. We would like to have very world-class wayside amenities like we see in other countries. And we don't just want to charge vehicles, we want vehicles to act as storage, energy storages. With these brief words, I would like to end my address, and thank you very much for the opportunity. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Public transport undertakings have played a pioneering role in Kerala's electrification journey. It is now my pleasure to invite Dr. Pramod Sankar, IOFS Chairman and Managing Director, KSEBL, to share his perspectives.
Respected Puneet sir, respected Minaj Alam sir, respected Transport Commissioner Nagaraju sir, and Dr. Harikumar sir, Sri Sanjeev Ji Director, and Ma'am Kirtika Madam, and all the organizers. First of all, let me express my pleasure to be in this platform and to share some thought process on this driving Kerala's e-truck ecosystem. Basically, it is connected mainly with the two departments, transportation, not departments, two sectors, mainly transportation and the power energy system. So how to establish that ecosystem, that is electricity production, transportation and distribution. We need to read it in connected with our carbon neutrality goal and all. So in the context setting speech, ma'am was telling about some data on our EV penetration in the state of Kerala. It is very true. So way back in 2018-19, we started our EV policy system, and it was launched in the year of 2019 with an ambitious plan of some 10 lakhs electric vehicles by the year of 2022. That was the plan. But later on, due to pandemic situation and all, this 1 lakh milestone achievement, it happened in the year of 2022 end and by 23. But subsequently, it was an exponential growth. Now, as on today, we crossed 3 lakhs electric vehicle, precisely as on today, 3,13,979. This is the electric vehicle status in Kerala state. So we can see that from the registration point of view, approximately 12 to 13% of the vehicles being registered are electric vehicles. This is one among the highest in number in the country. So how we achieved all these things is with our prominent fiscal and non-fiscal policies. Basically, we had some policy. We launched with 1,000 numbers of e-rickshaw subsidy policy, of which 5,000 will be given to women auto rickshaw drivers. That got a very wide attention. So those all initial policies we launched through Motor Vehicle Department plan scheme and in collaboration with mainly with the KSEBL. Subsequently, KSEBL become the nodal agency to implement all these things. All this as said earlier by Puneet sir and CMD sir about the efforts and initiatives currently going on, especially in the field of R&D, vehicle to grid and collaboration with IIT. These all prospects come in last 1-2 hours very vigorously. They worked out and in the public domain. So it is somewhat easier to follow that mindset. It is brought to the society, and the purpose of KSEB's EV further. I think KSEB's EV policy 2.0. It's also almost in the pipeline and is about to launch based on the existing circumstances and the new changes which is brought to the society. This policy is being brought in a couple of months, as I understand. Then while talking about KSRTC, which is the bloodline for the public transportation in the state of Kerala, so let me express my some happier moment also here that KSRTC achieved 10.33 crores daily collection on yesterday. So this is, I need to read along with this. In that, what is the percentage of electric transportation? What is the contribution in that, and what is the future which we are going to augment for the electric fleet in the state of Kerala? This is the question which we need to address properly. So as on today, KSRTC is having 165 electric buses, and of which 2 are double-decker buses in the name of some city ride. It's running in Thiruvananthapuram. Another 2 more electric double-decker will be launched in 2 cities, that is Thrissur and Kozhikode, in the coming days. And in Ernakulam and all these cities, major cities, through PM E-Seva scheme, we are trying to make it done. And all these electric vehicles, when we deployed, some 2-3 observations are there. One is this has significantly reduced air pollution in the Thiruvananthapuram city region. Of course, it's got a very wider momentum, and the public really love these operations. We named it as city circulars. In some 11 city circular routes, it's going forward and backward. But it's initially we had some challenges, but now it's very well accepted and appreciated by the society. Now, about this air pollution point, in addition, the convenient operation of the city circular bus services has attracted the passengers who earlier used private vehicles. Those all were shifted to the public transportation system. That's one among the key advantage that we need to quantify in terms of the measurable parameters. We have that list, but this is not the platform to read all these things, but we have. So this transition has further reduced the traffic congestion and air pollution. The impact is evident from the sharp increase in passenger patronage on city circular buses. There are countable 7.9 those tons of CO2 reduction is estimated. And in this electric vehicle ecosystem, it become very public friendly when it addresses its convenience, affordability, reliability, and confidence simultaneously. And so the main thing is this charging infrastructure establishment. You know, there were, as I said earlier, there were a lot of fiscal and non-fiscal measures we have implemented, especially for the non-transport vehicles and all. We reduced this taxation, that is to up to the maximum of 5%, and 1,300 public charging stations for cars and buses we had. In KSRTC itself, in entire Thiruvananthapuram city, we covered with the adequate charging station system. Very initially, as all of you are aware, 1,195, if I remember correctly, those many number of pole-mounted charging stations were installed by KSEBL. Then an EV ecosystem become truly public friendly when it functions as a service. It should be as a service, not just as a product. So we were trying to persuade this private sector also into this EV ecosystem by giving some capital subsidies that we have issued. Many people got benefited that too. Then the seamless charging and predictable costs, reliable support, and visible public transport adoption are very, very critical. Even then, now 2-3 points before coming to this PM e-drive scheme, 2-3 points which we need to address even now. One is this battery disposal and end life management. The buses which we purchased after some 2-3 years, this battery management is becoming an issue that need to be addressed. And this how to enhance. Now, of course, this technology's immaturities, that was one reason why it was not a widespread adoption of EV was not happening. The reason was this anxiety on this charge. But new technologies has come. Now we are getting a high-end chargeable vehicles and all. And this battery disposal, that critical is that concern that to be addressed. It should be because it affects the environmental safety and then cost confidence and long-term sustainability. Numerous programs also there in parallel, as I understand. Then extended producer responsibility, these are the other points which we need to consider. Then second life utilization, there were some research are going on, it's in some matured shape, that's what I understood. Then this recycling infrastructure, these are the other points which we need to read in tandem. Then public-friendly charging infrastructure network, that is very, very important. That enables users to pay via UPI. Already KSEBL has launched such a very comprehensive app for the public. And finally, ending the need to manage multiple provider-specific mobile wallets and all. And further, this transparency and affordability, these all are very, very important for making a balanced EV ecosystem. And while coming to this e-truck ecosystem with the PM e-drive scheme, Kerala State Road Transport Corporation very well, whenever such a requirement came from KSEBL, we acted very sharply. We acted and we found approximately 23 locations across the state covering 10 districts, and we awaited for the implementation of the same. And in Kerala, this freight transport, as the Transport Commissioner mentioned about some point like wayside amenities and all. Like that, this freight transport directly affects the cost of livings, congestion, air quality, etc., etc. So what make this PM e-Seva scheme much important is it's going beyond vehicles to focus on charging infrastructure, then grid readiness, financing and operational viability. This is critical for any successful adoption. From a fleet operator perspective, electric mobility must be driven by reliability, predictability and total cost ownership, not just incentive alone. This is what our experience. In KSRTC with the electric buses, clearly it shows that its success depends on the robust charging infra, then close coordination with the power utility and realistic deployment of models. These lessons are even more relevant for electric trucks, which place higher and concentrated loads on the grid. Hence, the grid integrated charging, demand management and alignment with renewable energy will be very much essential for the successful implementation of this scheme. Public sector institutions must act as early adopters, because I am remembering whenever this first EV system, EV policy was launched, in transport department we purchased 65 electric vehicles for the enforcement purpose. Actually, it gave a very great idea among the public and people started using it because we showed it as an example. So these public sector institutions must act as early adopters and anchor customers to build confidence in the ecosystem. In this spirit, KSRTC is willing to support collaborative pilots and shared infrastructure. So our objective should not be deploying electric trucks, but integrating them seamlessly into logistics, power planning and urban transport system. With coordinated action among government, KSEBL, industry and knowledge partners, Kerala can set up a national benchmark for this clean freight transition. That's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Energy efficiency and demand-side management are critical pillars of sustainable electrification. I now invite Dr. Hari Kumar, Director, Energy Management Center, Kerala, to deliver a special address.
Respected Puneet Kumar sir, ACS Power, my dear friend Dr. Pramod, CMD KSRTC, Shri Sajeev and Madam Kritika from ICCT. Respected delegates and dear friends. Let me first of all thank the organizers for inviting us to this platform to share some of our observations on this important topic. See, hearing the speeches, I think from this dais, I was thinking that this is a golden opportunity for KSEB to take advantage of the PM e-Drive scheme and if possible to explore the possibility of adding an incentive from KSEB also to take advantage in the maximum level. Sitting here, I was reminded of a conversation I had with my daughter a few months back. She was studying she was doing her MBA through the CAT program in MICA, Ahmedabad. It's a school of communication. So she called me and asked me to share the contact details of the head of branding and marketing of KSEBL. So I told that such a post is not there in KSEB. So she is little surprised. So she told that I have the contact details of that particular lady who is holding that position in Tata Power, but not in KSEB. So I shared this conversation with one of my senior friends in KSEB. So he told that KSEB, being a monopoly in the energy sector, doesn't require that department at all. So since I come from energy management center, not from the electricity management center, my argument was that, see, in the whole energy sector of Kerala, the KSEB share is 20,000, maybe 22,000 crore, the annual sales turnover. But whereas the oil consumption, oil share in the state is nearly 65,000 crore, more than 3 times. That means you are holding a 25% share in the energy sector. But that gives a huge advantage, that it is a huge opportunity for you. Because as the ACS was mentioning about carbon neutrality by 2040 when we are planning, what we are really doing is that we should think about, or we should implement fossil fuel substitution. From fossil fuel, you have to go for electricity. Then that electricity, through supply chain management and through green power procurement, it should be, you have to green the supply chain. That is the basic fundamental what you can do. So in the 65,000 crore, half of it is consumed in the industries, half of it in the transportation sector. So more than the turnover of KSEB, you have an oil consumption in the transport sector, and that you have a huge advantage of going for electrification of the transport sector and doubling your turnover. Fortunately, the finance secretary is not here. He will not like that, because any 1 liter saving in diesel, he will be losing 20 rupees for the state exchequer. But, so with this argument, I think that in a holistic thing, if you see it as a business, as a utility, it's a huge opportunity. I do not know the in and out of the PM E-Drive scheme program, but I believe that maybe some 9 to or 5 to 10 lakhs subsidy will be available for e-trucks. And the other thing is that so far in the electric vehicle discourse, we have been talking about 3 kWh scooter, 12 kWh auto rickshaw, 30 kWh car. Now we are talking about 300 kWh e-truck. That is a huge demand for KSEB. It's a consumer with 300 kWh or 20,000 to 60,000 kWh a year. It's a huge consumer. It's an anchor demand for KSEB, which you should not, or that should be your highest value proposition. And when I say that KSEB should incentivize, in addition to the PM E-Drive program, you should also read along with that you are surrendering power in the morning time from 11 to 4, based on your long-term contract. You are surrendering. And you are not able to take advantage of the low-cost power from the prosumers, because we do not have that, we have not developed that storage infrastructure. Now, so demand is there, 11 to 4. And these people, the e-truck wala drives in the night, and they take rest in the 11 to 4 time. So it's a great advantage. So the back of envelope calculation, what we have done a few days ago, shows that about 4 to 5 lakhs or 4 to 6 lakhs will be the net realization for KSEBL per truck. That means that you can plan. It is my submission. A lot of debate may be required in that. You can plan for a 1 lakh or 2 lakh rupees incentive to the truck people. Not in terms of subsidy what they give the PF drive, but I suggest that it should be consumption linked, it should be time bound, there should be a cap, and it should be financial neutrality should be there. And then definitely you get a regulatory acceptability also. When all these are taken care, there is no ambiguity in getting a regulatory acceptability also. And now my friend Dr. Pramoj is here. I was asking how about the electric charging infrastructure. So I was really surprised that KSEB has not, what I wish that being a state PSU, KSEB should have invested on their electric infrastructure fully, 100%. Because quite contrary to the electric truck, basically because our electric bus operates entirely within the state, and you will be getting a realization 3 times compared to e-truck, and your incentive can be again 3 times or 4 times, because it is there you do not require a marketing also. It is a captive load, and when you invest on your electrical EV charging infrastructure, it can act as your regulatory or utility asset also. So huge, and his electric bus should be a demand, will be giving a demand of not less than 20,000 units to 60,000 units. So there is a huge opportunity in that, and it is combining with the PM e-drive scheme. If we can take advantage of that, it is good. And once somebody goes for electric vehicle, after 3 years he cannot put diesel. He will be your captive consumer always for the next 8 to 10 years. But we should be transparent enough also. Not like the gross metering, net metering thing. We should be transparent enough, and we should say that, yes, this tariff incentive will be there for next 2 years or next 3 years, so that people will be able to plan it accordingly. And we will be able to submit a proposal for that. But I would suggest ICCT that it is not in specific to Kerala, but in general what we find, because I am basically an energy auditor. So what what is our observation is that external players, external consultants is better placed for getting a better hearing. We know the Kerala psychology better than ICCT, but you are better placed to get a better hearing. So, and for the, I understand that some OEMs are also here. So we have, from Energy Management Center, we have a scheme which is called interest subvention scheme. We provide 2% interest subvention for a loan which consumers take for energy efficiency improvement. So you can talk to your prospective consumers that 2% interest subvention is available from EMC. It's a grant. It is not a loan. It's a grant. For more details, you can ask your people to connect to EMC. Also, the last one is that the EMC being the nodal agency for the Go Electric campaign, launched by the Honorable Chief Minister of Kerala in June 5th, the World Environment Day 2021. We are at your disposal to the OEMs that if you want to use the government platform to promote your electric trucks, e-bus and all, please, EMC will be very willing to contribute. I wish all the success for these deliberations. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. To conclude the inaugural plenary, it is my honor to invite Shri Sajeev Ji, Director, Generation, Renewable Energy and Energy Saving, and SORA KSEBL, to deliver the special address for the session.
Good morning, respected Puneet Kumar sir, ACS Power, respected Minha Jaram sir, CMD KSEBL, then Pramod Sangh sir, Harimar sir, and Kritika madam, all distinguished guests and my colleagues. It's a pleasure to address this gathering on the theme of driving Kerala's e-truck ecosystem under the PM e-drive scheme. The presence of senior officials, research organizations, industry representatives, fleet operators, and charge point operators here today reflects the growing recognition that freight electrification requires coordinated action across sectors. From the perspective of the power sector, electric freight transport represents a significant shift. Electric trucks are not merely new vehicles. They introduce high-capacity, location-specific energy demand that must be planned, integrated, and managed carefully within the electricity system. This makes freight electrification both a technical challenge and a strategic opportunity for Kerala. Kerala's power system is already undergoing a transition with increasing renewable energy integration and sustained efforts to strengthen grid resilience. In this context, the development of high-capacity EV charging infrastructure, particularly for freight, must be undertaken in a structured and forward-looking manner. High-power charging can create concentrated demand. However, when planned properly, it can be aligned with renewable generation, demand management strategies, and future flexibility mechanisms. Kerala's approach under the PM e-drive schemes reflects this understanding with a clear focus on strategically located high-capacity charging infrastructure. At this point, I would like to address the charge point operators and investors present here. Kerala offers a strong and credible investment environment for EV charging infrastructure. The state combines high traffic density, early EV adoption, and a capable public utility with clear institutional roles. Under PME drive, land aggregation on government and KSEBL premises has already been undertaken, and structured mechanisms are being put in place to enable private land participation. As a nodal agency, KSEBL is committed to ensuring grid readiness, transparent processes, and predictable timelines. For CPOs, this reduces uncertainty and supports faster project implementation and utilization. Kerala is keen to work with the private partners not only to deploy chargers, but to develop corridor-based high utilization charging hubs with quality amenities and reliable service standards. We encourage charge point operators to view Kerala not merely as a deployment location, but as a long-term growth market for electric mobility infrastructure. Another important strength of Kerala's approach is its alignment with the state's renewable energy and climate goals. As renewable energy penetration increases, electric freight will increasingly be powered by clean energy, strengthening both the environmental and economic case for investment in charging infrastructure. Technology and innovation will also play a key role in this transition. Initiatives such as smart charging, simplified payment systems, and the vehicle-to-grid pilot being developed with IIT Bombay indicate the direction in which Kerala is moving towards a more responsive and intelligent electricity system. These developments open up opportunities for CPOs to participate in evolving business mode beyond conventional charging services. Kerala's collaboration with the International Council on Clean Transportation further strengthens this ecosystem. ICCT's global experience and analytical support help ensure that planning and implementation are guided by data, international best practices, and real-world operational insights. This enhances confidence among all stakeholders, including investors. Finally, inclusivity remains a key consideration. Kerala's freight sector includes a large number of small and medium operators who depend on public charging infrastructure. Ensuring accessibility, reliability, and fair pricing will be essential for widespread adoption and long-term success. Kerala has been early and deliberate steps under PM E-Drive. The next phase will require continued partnership between government, utilities, industry, and private investors. I invite all charge point operators and infrastructure developers to actively engage with this opportunity and partner with Kerala in building a robust, future-ready charging ecosystem for electric freight and beyond. Thank you and wish you all a productive and insightful session. Thank you.